Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's, as Sachin said, it's a pleasure to be here in Bangalore, where for me and Forevermark in India, it all started. You know, it seems like a long time ago now, but it's only sort of 7 years when there were no Forevermark boutiques in India. And our very first one here, thank you very much. And where have we gone from there? From one store grows this extraordinary concept and idea and passion because we think we had something which was powerful. As Sachin said, 240 doors across India. You know, we're aiming this year to sell some 175,000 Forevermark diamonds in India. It's been a fantastic story of success. And I think what's really interesting when we look at the number of diamonds that we sell in different countries around the world, last year, India was the country where we sold number 2. We sold second most diamonds in the world, Forevermark, in India, chasing after China. And I think the team's great challenge is to be number 1, and it's within their grasp. So if they can be limitless, it won't be long until we sell more Forevermark diamonds in India than any other market in the world, and that's quite exciting. And partly, it made me think before this forum, you know, why has this been such an extraordinary success story in a world economy, let's be honest, over these past few years, which hasn't been the most robust, strongest global economy, but yet Forevermark has grown exceptionally through it. And I think it's because it's really the right idea at the right time. And to start, I wanted to step back and think a little bit about what's happening in the world of luxury goods. And there's a few key drivers. One of them is really the power of brands. We are living, unlike any other time in history, in a branded world. And the global brands are becoming increasingly important engagers of consumers and driver of desire and driver of demand. The thing that really makes that so powerful, I think, is the power of social media and the phenomena of social media is impacting younger generations of consumers. And the global brands have a particular advantage in the world of social media, where young consumers are looking all over the world for trends, but most importantly, they look to brands in social media to help define what the trends are and what their desires are. And let me share with you a little personal story just to make this come alive for you. My oldest son is 22, named Jake. And Jake came to me a couple of months ago, as all sons do, asking for money. Can I have some money, Dad? I said, what do you need money for? He said, I want to buy a Supreme jacket. And for those of you who are my age, you probably don't know what Supreme is, but amongst the millennials, it is like the trendy, very trendy surfer brand, young surfer brand. And what was interesting, though, to me is that he said he needed money for a Supreme jacket. He didn't need money for a jacket. Actually, he doesn't need a jacket. And if I think back to my generation, what would make you want to buy a new jacket? Well, you needed a new jacket. The old one, something was wrong with the old one, or you wanted some. No, that's not how for him it works at all. He wanted the Supreme, which happened to be a jacket. And how did he get inspired by that? Because he follows Supreme on his social media feeds. And they created in him a desire to have something which he didn't even know he needed at all. And the insight here is that the desire is brand-led. His desire was actually for the brand, something from the brand, not for the product itself. And that's how the world of luxury brand marketing is shifting. And we need to recognize that insight. Diamond world, to be honest, was probably slow in the uptake of brands compared to the luxury goods industry as a whole. but we're catching up very rapidly. In China and America today, the majority of diamonds sold for engagement rings are now branded. And in India, we can see through the success of Forevermark that there is that inherent desire amongst consumers for those same qualities. So I think we're riding a wave which is only going to grow bigger. And the advantage for us is we're there first, and we're there in a powerful way with a global Forevermark offering that we can localize here in India. I think the other reason I think Forevermark is doing so well around the world is that what is luxury is changing in the world. We see this in all the major consumer countries. And if I think back historically, and you said, define for me what luxury was about, I'd probably say 3 words. I will probably say it's about exclusivity. Not everyone can have it. It's not for everybody. It's only for those that we choose to be part of our brand. I would have said it's about quality, obviously. You need to make a quality product in the luxury field. And I would say it's about a reflection of status and a projection of financial success. And that probably defined most luxury brands in the past decade. It's not what's going to define them in the next decade. I think the 3 key words are now around inclusiveness. Inclusiveness, that's the opposite of exclusivity. It's about craftsmanship, not quality. What's the difference? Machines can bang out quality, but people, experts, your hands and your eyes, you need to do craftsmanship. It's about innovation and creativity and hand commitment of experts. That's the new definition of quality within the luxury world. And the third to me is that it's not about financial status anymore. It's increasingly, there used to be this aspiration for that. The aspiration is shifting to what we would call social purpose. I aspire to brands whose value in the world is about making the world a better place. And I associate with that brand. I want to associate with that feeling that I'm part of things which are doing good for the world. So it's not just about I'm rich, it's about I'm making a positive contribution. So those new attributes, inclusiveness, craftsmanship, social purpose, that to me I think is the new luxury. And whether by design or whether by a bit of luck or foresight, Forevermark from the beginning was focused on those things. We've always said Forevermark for us is an inclusive brand. We're not just super expensive. You can enter the world of Forevermark at all sorts of different price points. The only thing you need to believe to be a consumer of Forevermark is to believe in beautiful diamonds. If you want the most beautiful diamond, then we want you to join us. There's nothing exclusive in that sense. Secondly, for us, it's always been about craftsmanship. Whether it starts with selecting the diamonds from the rough in the very beginning, who's done? That's done by people looking at individual stones. Whether it's the experts who select our polished diamonds in our Forevermark laboratories around the world, whether it's our partners who cut and polish by hand and craft these beautiful things. Forevermark diamonds are inherently about the involvement of experts and craft. And that appeals to consumers today because it means each one is unique. And uniqueness is about craftsmanship. Very, very important for luxury going forward, and very important for Forevermark. And lastly, social purpose. And again, from the beginning, we designed into Forevermark. You remember the slogan, beautiful, rare, responsibly sourced. From the beginning, we were talking about the good that our diamonds do as they travel through the pipeline. And this is never more important than it is today. A social purpose to me is about what positive contribution do you make? And for Forevermark, as part of the De Beers Group, we focus really on two powerful areas. One is support and our focus on creating opportunities for women and young girls, particularly in the producer countries where the diamonds come from. And if you don't know about our He for She program and our He for She commitments at Forevermark and De Beers, as evidenced by my little He for She badge, please try to learn a little bit about it before you go today. It's a fantastic program, and it's about uplifting and creating opportunities for women and young girls. You know, diamonds are a girl's best friend, and they shouldn't just be those who own them. It should be all of the people who are involved in the journey of bringing them to you. And secondly, the natural world. You would have seen in the video the little picture of the elephants. We're really committed to protecting the natural world because in the countries, particularly in Southern Africa where the diamonds come from, ecotourism is an extraordinarily important economic driver. And you can't have economic ecotourism unless you have the animals to see when you're on that tourism. And these animals are under threat. Elephant, rhinoceros, and De Beers and Forevermark are doing their part to protect those animals in those areas so those countries have a future. Moving Giants is a small part of that overall initiative, but we're committed to that. You know, it's like protecting the treasures of the natural world. Forevermark diamonds are treasures of the natural world, but so are these magnificent animals that equally need to be treasured and protected. So for us, that's the commitment we make. And a consumer who buys a Forevermark diamond knows that they're associating themselves with a brand and a company who are committed to these values and are making a positive impact. And I think, again, that's the new aspiration for luxury. Consumers will aspire to luxury brands whose values they share. And Forevermark is there. And I think that's why we're so in tune with consumers, and that's why we're growing, to be honest, so rapidly around the world. And this idea of this belief in forever and the forever of diamonds is really at the core of all of De Beers. You know, one of the reasons we're so confident of the future of diamonds is the belief in the success of Forevermark, but it's not the only reason. And we're at De Beers investing hugely at the moment in building the supply of the future in terms of diamonds. We're just opened a new mine in Canada within the last year called Gachakwe. You know, it's a big investment, nearly $1 billion between us and our partner to bring those diamonds from close to the Arctic to consumers around the world. We're investing in South Africa in the Venetia mine. That's a $2 billion investment project. Venetia mine is the largest mine in South Africa. It's an above-ground mine, but the above-ground part of it is coming to the end of its life. So to give us decades more life, we need to go underground. It's a big investment project. We don't see the benefits for decades to come, but we're investing now because we know there's going to be demand and desire for diamonds a decade from now and decades after that. And similarly in Botswana, where we're extending the life of our mines by investing billions of US dollars now in order to take the life of those mines well into this middle of this next century. So we're confident enough to invest those billions because we know we have consumers with us and desire for diamonds is strong. One of the more exciting ones is we're building a new ship, and that ship mines off the coast of Namibia out in the Atlantic from the bottom of from the ocean bed. And it's a fantastic resource. It costs $500 million to build a vessel, but it allows us to extract some of the most beautiful diamonds, which will become Forevermark diamonds in the years ahead. So a very exciting future and a lot of confidence in diamonds. And you know, sometimes people say, oh, don't you worry about lab grown? No, not really, because there ain't anything like a natural diamond. Natural diamond is rare. It's literally billions of years old. Each diamond is individually unique. It has by definition an intrinsic and enduring value, which is real. And you can't make that. Only nature can create such precious things. And people want diamonds not because they sparkle. They want them because they're precious. And that's what gives us such confidence in our future. To make sure that future generations of consumers understand that and that our diamonds are right for the future, we've started something new called the Forever Initiative. And the Forever Initiative is really there to make sure each generation of consumers is inspired by the story of natural diamonds. And there's all sorts of different components to it, but we need to communicate the real mystique and the magic and the history of diamonds in new ways to these new consumers. You know, young consumers, they study lots of things, their minds bounce around. We need to make sure that they understand that this is one of the most precious things in the world. It's inherently magical, mysterious, and part of their lives. But also part of the Forever Initiative is to understand what else products need to be for the future in order to be in tune with this new generation of consumers. And I think there's two particular areas worth commenting on that form part of our Forever Initiative. You know, for those of you who have had the opportunity to be here over the last few days, you may have heard this speaker talking about the future of space. That was very exciting, very impassioning, but she also talked about the importance of protecting our planet and climate change. So a big part of our Forever Initiative is how can we bring diamonds to the world in a way that are carbon neutral? How can we all lower our carbon footprint in order to help protect this magical world we have? And De Beers have started a number of projects now to enable us to do just that. So making sure across everything we do, we reduce our carbon footprint, that's part of our brand value. And that's part of our commitment. And the second, I think, is around transparency and confidence in the pipeline of diamonds. People increasingly want to know, where did my diamond come from? And where did it go along those steps? And Forevermark helps them today by making them confident in the source. But we've started another project called Tracer at De Beers. And as the name says, it should allow us, when we bring it to the world, to trace the diamond from the mine all the way through to the consumer and all the steps in between. And that's inspiring to consumers. I think they're beginning to ask more about where do their products that they own come from. Again, it helps them reinforce this view that the product has done something positive and good along the way. And that's another part of this, making our Forevermark diamonds, I call future-proof, or right for the new future that we see. I hope you sense some of my natural enthusiasm for, that's next, some of my natural enthusiasm for the future, because it's what I feel. I feel a real passion about the magic of diamonds. I feel that we have the opportunity here. This theme of Be Limitless is really, you know, it's not just a theme, it's a fact. The opportunity for us in India to grasp what the new consumer is looking for in luxury and what they want from brands, and to use the tools of brands to bring that to consumers. It's really untapped. And I think whenever I come here, I just feel that I can feel opportunity to do so much more. And we're really passionate about doing it, and we're really confident we can achieve it. So to all of you from the media, thank you for making the time to come and see us and learn a bit more about what we're doing, and hopefully share our enthusiasm for the opportunities and for the future. Thank you very much.